What do the signs mean? The signs mean Canada's having a federal election. But you know what? To tell you the honest truth, I'm finding it hard to pick a candidate. Hard. There are 2 or 3 I'm definitely not voting for. It's the same old, same olds. The blindly optimistic and the dark horse. But as you may have heard, the Prime Minister, Mr. Trudeau II, has got himself in a spot of bother with some videos that have come out. Everyone's talking about it. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it, except, you know, I'm not a big fan, to be honest, but at the same time, 2 things are remarkably coincidental. One is the week before this all came out, the other party, the Conservatives, were running a campaign saying Mr. Trudeau is not as advertised, meaning he's not really open-minded and non-racist and into equality, etc. And guess what? Then these pictures come out of him in a blackface situation. You know, whether you agree with it or not, I'm not here to comment on that. But my particular interest is what timing? Wow, what timing? And yeah, interesting. Makes me chuckle, actually. And that's, you know, I'm not pro or against Mr. Trudeau, Mr. Scheer, or any of the others, actually. I'm finding it hard to make my mind up, to tell you the truth. I just sit back and chuckle at some of the antics that go on. It's really quite ridiculous. I wish they'd stick to the issues. This sort of sniping in the media, it goes on worldwide, and yeah, there are some people who deserve it, for sure. But really, I just want to have the issues brought in front of me. I want to know who's done what, who said what they were going to do, and who kept their promise and who didn't, who's a career politician, has never done a day's work in their life, who actually understands you know, the common man, doesn't come from a privileged background, and who offers a fresh, open, new outlook, something different than we've had before, because right now we're just playing tennis with the same 2 partners, and I'm not sure that's the answer. It hasn't worked brilliantly up until now. I mean, Canada's a wonderful country, but I don't think it's for want of the politicians we've had in power. That's for sure. But I should get off my soapbox, I suppose. Lots of billboards, lots of posters, lots of adverts. October 20th, I believe it is. Maybe by then I'll have come to some sort of consensus on what I'm going to do. We'll see. Meanwhile, uppermost in my mind, far more important than Canadian federal politics, is my tummy. And we have to get some yam fries. And I'm going to have to go to Qualicum, I think, and sit on the beach, even though it's not a particularly nice day today, fairly grey. So what else is going on in the world of bikes? Well, the other day I saw a very strange and brand new looking KLR 650. Now, I'm not interested in the KLR 650, but it was quite a nifty looking machine. It had totally different graphics, it was new. Now, whether I hadn't heard that a KLR 650 had been released in North America yet, or even in Europe, I thought that was the end of them. And this was spanking new and very different from the last generation, which they stopped last year. So either someone's been playing around with different body panels, a private individual, and just playing it up, hamming it up, enjoying it, farkling it, or Kawasaki are busy getting these things tested out, although you would think that they wouldn't put KLR on the side, because it certainly drew my attention, and he didn't want to make any eye contact. He was just looking in front and minding his own business. Yeah, this thing was fully kitted out, brand new looking, sparkly in the way only a new bike can be. Interesting. Maybe I haven't paid any attention, because I really don't pay much attention to KLRs. I thought, but you know, with the new KTM 790 out there, and even better in my opinion, the Tenaire 700, the new KLR, if it takes shape looking like this one seemed to, looks like a competitor for either of those two. So do not know if that was a real new KLR, a prototype of a KLR, or Backyard's mechanics interpretation of what he wants the KLR to look like. Don't know. Interesting. Other bike news, well, I have a friend, actually went riding with him a while ago to the FBI. Check the video out, link up in the corner. Or is it that corner? God, I don't know. Anyway, it'll be there. Ryan, and he got to me the other day and said something highly unusual for him. And yeah, I mean, this man has bikes galore. They're coming out of his derriere. They're certainly stacked up in his garage. What, 5, 6? I'm not sure. Anyway, one of the ones he's got, and he has a KTM dirt bike, a big 450, but one of the bikes he's got is a trials bike, and a lovely, lovely bike. And always had so much fun on that bike whenever he's brought it over. Apart from I did wreck it once. I shot it out of my workshop, landed on its tailpipe, which he had just got welded up. Oh, I felt terrible. Darn near wiped out their child as well. It was a whole bad thing. Anyway, and I wasn't even sitting on it. I was straddled over it, playing with it, kicked it over. Didn't realize that it was in gear. It kicked over so easily. Stupidity on my part. Anyway, that aside, it's a beautiful bike. The problem with it is they kind of scare me because they make you want to do daft things like ride over logs, rocks, boulders, and all sorts of different things. I'm going to go while this man does the traffic for me. He's decided that he might want to trade that in for an electric Norco bike. Apparently this electric Norco bike is making all sorts of waves. It's got a 650 kilowatt engine. I haven't ridden a bike in years. Bicycle. I haven't ridden a bicycle in years. Not electric bike, electric bicycle. And so he's looking at that for a downhill mountain bike. Have some fun on that. Don't know if that's a good idea or not. Sort of appeals to me a little bit, but I'm not sure. I wonder if this place is even open, actually. Yes, looks like it could be open. Nice. Yes, time for yam fries. A little nosh down, definitely.
Once again, thanks for watching everyone. If this is the first time you've watched, please consider subscribing. I do product reviews, motorcycle reviews, off-road and on-road vlogs, as well as tours. Don't forget to follow me on social media, that's Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and to like, and especially, I'm begging you here folks, subscribe. This is the BlueMarbleRider, out.